Hi there, I'm Paul Wallen, and welcome to another lesson on professional sound synthesis on the channel Cutoff Frequency. And again, we are working with Harmor, just because Harmor is amazingly almighty powerful synth for me. And finally, in this lesson today, we're making a white noise in Harmor and various types of sound effects which can be made out of the white noise and with the white noise, and what our life will be like without sound effects on white noise. So very boring, because it's everywhere, in electronic dance music and sound effects and sound design. So many build-ups and fade-ins, fade-outs, sweep in, sweep outs are made of white noise. So there's a problem with white noise in Harmor. Most of the users complain why there is no white noise inside of Harmor, and it will be just perfect if there will be. Yes, I will agree that it will be just amazingly great to have some third oscillator containing some kind of noise in it. But I found the solution for all of you who are watching. And it's not difficult. You just need to know how to make a white noise in Harmor. And that's very easy. So I will show you the way to do it. And in return, you may send me your preset with your version of white noise in it. So your version of a white noise inside of a preset for Harmor. And just for fun, you may do this. Just for my fun, for your fun, you may do this. So leave your comments below with a link to it, and I will check it out. And if it's awesome, you are awesome on synthesis or at learning. Maybe you already knew this, how to make it. So let's start with the white noise. So here's some definition for you from Wikipedia, of course. White noise is a random signal with a constant power spectral density. If you would be standing very closely next to a waterfall, you will definitely hear white noise at its best. So the white noise is, in our case, it's in Harmor. Very evenly distributed harmonics on our harmonic spectrum. You may see this. So just look at this. Evenly distributed harmonics on our harmonic spectrum, and they are very close to each other. So how do we do that? And we go to default and default preset. No, not a crash. Of course, not a crash. Default. So how to make our harmonics evenly distributed on our harmonic spectrum. So by default, we have a saw wave. And what do we do next? You see that those harmonics are distributed like harmonics on an equalizer. Equalizer has a very similar. Okay. So we can see this. Just like here. At the end, they're very close to each other. And at the beginning, they're not so close to each other. So the solution is that button, octaves. We go now from harmonical distribution to octave distribution. Evenly distributed. Here it is. So we activate with the chosen node the full spectrum of a white noise. So we need to divide our pitch and our frequency by a maximum number, by 9 in our case. And we see that now we have our full spectrum from the bottom to the top. And those are evenly distributed harmonics. Yes, but it sounds quirky. Next, we want them as close to each other as it can be, but we don't want to lose our full spectrum, full range of a spectrum. So from the bottom to the top, we have them from the bottom to the top, and so we're dividing by some number, by chosen number, our detune line here. As you can see, they're getting twice as close to each other as they used to be. So there, by 3, by 4, by 5, full range, very close and very. So we see a very high density of harmonics in that spectrum. And up we go. Now we've lost our full spectrum, so we go back to 6. So we divide by 6. And that's just great, but it sounds quirky still. And what we're gonna do now is to activate some unison. So all 9 voices, and so we don't need some random panning on in our white noise. We need to like mono. And those faders, pitch and phase, all dude stop. Now we can hear it at last. And you wanna find the best note for a full spectrum. So you can see that we're losing some of the harmonics at the top and at the bottom. Now at the bottom, now at the top. So I guess the C note is just perfect in that octave here. And you may notice that in some other synths, you hear the white noise exactly the same. It sounds exactly the same on every note you hit. So no matter how much notes there are on your keyboard, you hear exactly the same timbre of white noise. So we want to make it so. How do we make it? We go to pitch and to keyboard mapping. So we're modulating our pitch on our keyboard spectrum, our notes spectrum. So here are all the notes in that area, and here all the octaves. So +5 octaves up and -5 octaves below. 5 octaves up and 5 octaves below, down below. To hear this note on every note you hit, you need to do this. So use your alt key on your keyboard to make it snap active. So or either you make it snap active or you use alt key on your keyboard. I prefer using alt key. So here it is. We are hearing exactly the same note on every note we hit. And that's just perfect. That's what we want. And we're moving on. So now it's almost our desired outcome in the sound of a white noise, but not yet. If you compare our timbre of a white noise to some other white noises inside some other synths, you may hear the difference, the gigantic difference. So we should choose 3x oscillator. And here's the white noise for you. Right? Different keys, so different notes, same result. So here it is. So you can hear it. Those timbres are very, very different. And here's some instructions for you. And those are strictly my guesses on how to make that noise maximally similar to original white noise timbre. And here's what I do as a rule. I go to timbre 1 harmonic level and I make its graph like this. So our harmonics at the end should be louder than our harmonics at the beginning. And so I make it like this. Not that similar, but we're getting closer. So now we're doing it by our ears. And that's not it yet. So what I do, I usually use clipping. But not that type of clipping. So I choose sharp low threshold. And as you can see, it's this type of threshold that cuts off our lower harmonics and it leaves our high harmonics in the end. And then I go to effects and use some saturation, not distortion, but soft saturation. But I don't use amount of a distortion a lot, but the wave signal should stay the same as by default. And just find your sweet spot here and use some warming compression on this just to make it. And in advanced part, you should set the ramp like this. So our white noise now has a very sharp attack. Very sharp attack. Not so sharp, very, very sharp. Like original white noise and some synth. And let's check to make sure that it sounds similar to our original white noise. Not so similar. So, where did I get something wrong? Oh yeah, I guess this is it. So we should raise our clipping threshold. Make sure that wet signal is set properly, so it sounds on high harmonics very, very similar. Yeah, I guess that's it on a white noise. And we go to our effects. So how to make effects out of white noise? So with a white noise, we can make anything we like. So any hats like this. And if you want, you can filter it with a high pass filter. So you can add some harmonics to it with a harmonizer. Harmonic blur. Yeah. You can make anything right now with a white noise. You should use it as your default wave to make some heads, some percussions. So now we want to make a sweep out of it. That's here. Yeah, I don't want to do that from scratch for you, so it will take some time for us to do. I will just show you basic parameters that I used for building this effect. So you see that envelope for volume, and also I used LFO, so low frequency oscillator for that gate. Low frequency oscillator is responsible for this gate. You can build it pretty easy. Just make sure that your parameters are set like this, like mine. Now, an envelope for volume just for the tail, or a short tail like that. Not that long. And we go to timbre 1. So it looks the same as our white noise timbre. And in the red zone, we get some harmonizer here. So you can go without it. It's just for my entertainment, I think. And some panning in the unison section, just to add some space in terms of panning. Yeah, that's good. And the last things, I think, filter. So we use filtering right now. So filter 1 is a high pass filter, and filter 2 is a crude band pass filter. And you know the parameters, you can use all the same parameters for this, and you should make sure that your diagram, your that straight line here goes the same way. So cutoff frequency all the way, cutoff frequency knob all the way to the top, and so the graph goes like this. Actually, you can make it like so. Yeah, I think that'll be great. And for fun, just very accurately here in the middle. So notice that it's tempo dependent. So use tempo button, and the length of that line is 3 blocks. You can hear it like this. Yeah, that's all. So with the width set to 88% all the way to the top frequency cutoff knob, and to make sure that that sweep is very warm, I added some resonance to it. Not that much, but something about 16%, 18%, or 19%. So there's a lot of width. So width of a resonance band all the way to the top. And I chose that amount of offset. So minus 1200%. Because if you go by default, it's not so warm, I guess. That will be prettier. Yeah. And second filter, crude bandpass filter. And it goes like this. So the amount of cutoff frequency is about 75%. Width, I guess, yeah, should be also 75%. No resonance here. And the knob of filters mix, filter 1 and 2 mix set to 100% serial. So first goes through filter 1 and then it goes into filter 2 and then goes out. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty obvious and you should build it just right. Also, the length is 3 blocks. Yeah, and that's it. Some effects. So I use delay and reverb. You should just check your parameters and make sure that they set right just for you. So set your parameters of reverb and delay and maybe some chorus or other type of compression or distortion just by your ear. So I don't suggest that you use some other types of distortion because soft saturation is just perfect for a white noise. So we go further and now second effects and it's this. We want to look at only at that part. The part A with the white noise in it. So how it goes. So volume. That gate is just the work of volume envelope. And you can just find it right there. Open state file at the menu button and you can find it at the gate, some basic gate. I can't remember what it is actually, but I guess that's it. Yeah, third basic gate, and that's it for my gate. For my white noise gate, just a basic gate number 3 in the state files. And yeah, in the red zone, you may use, but I suggest that you set your parameters by your ear, always by your ear. So I added some harmonic blur and no harmonizer in this preset. Yeah, also classic type of unison and some panning again. Also, there is a phaser at the amount of 43% and width like that. Yeah, 57%. And I also modulated the offset of a phaser right there. So it goes, that's the whole circle through the envelope. You can see that there are 4 bars. Yeah, 4 full bars. It goes 4 full bars. Also tempo dependent. Always make sure that your preset is tempo dependent just because it's handy. Very useful. And that's the length of all our envelopes. So add a filter 2. There are also an envelope and it goes at the length of 4 blocks. And in a filter 1, there is also an envelope that goes through the whole 4 blocks like that. So now we're using crude low pass in our first filter and classic high pass in our second filter. So the parameters should be like mine, so you can leave them as they are or you can change them. The amount of width 75%, the amount of cutoff frequency 65%, some resonance for warmth, and the width very wide, and offset just the same as our previous preset. Yeah, double cone type of resonance. That this is not very usual type of resonance, so you should use it. You should try it, not only at this preset, but just try it alone on some saw wave or maybe in the filtering the saw wave is just great. Then further we go. Now filter 2 is classic high pass filter, no resonance again, and all the way to the top, almost 95%. Yeah, cutoff frequency and the width at the amount of 40. Yeah, that's right. So now you can see that it's not very hard to draw just a simple straight line from the middle to the top. And it goes for a filter 1, or our crude low pass filter. Then for our filter 2, we go like that. Just from there at the amount of, yeah, minus 50, no, minus 62, and to the amount of 0. Yeah, and the effects are pretty much the same as in our previous sound effect. I guess there's nothing else I can show you. Build it, try it, experiment with it, try your best at using white noise, because if you, with the help of this lesson, just realize that you can make a white noise in Harmor, I think you're pretty hungry right now. And I think you've just got a whole flow of ideas going through your head right now. I'm leaving you alone with this, and you should try build some effects or maybe hats, and just experiment with the white noise. Make your sounds very warm with the help of white noise. So it often adds some warmth and softness to the sound, to the basic timbre. So use it, try it, and learn from it. So subscribe to our channel and stay tuned to always make your sounds better. Always remember our main goal: getting the sound from your head to your ears, to your output system. And just be professionals. Always practice and become better at sound synthesis. Now I will see you in the future lessons, and right now I will leave you alone and I'm saying bye.